Great, thank you. Welcome, everybody. We'll open our CIC meeting today. Thank everybody for coming. Sorry we are delayed with other business prior to this. I'm going to start off with the approval of the minutes. Steve, we do have a quorum for the two of us, so I'll take
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, and I'll second it to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Thank you.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Yes, we are. Hi. Okay, I will turn our terminal expansion update over to John to fill us in and keep us going.
Thank you. Staffing of the project is holding level at 65 workers. We are encouraging and directing MLB add more staff, more overtime. They are working on Saturdays with a reduced staff. And we are seeing some progress. There's no doubt about progress is being made. Our engineer CHA will be adding more staff time to respond for requests for information so we can respond quickly to any questions that MLB has, any of the contractors have. Jordan Hudak, our project engineer from CHA, was here today. We're going through all the requests for information, trying to get them answers. Our target now is 5 days. We had our target earlier was 20 days, but we're going to reduce that because as we get closer to the end of the project, we have to respond more quickly so we can keep some momentum going forward. On the project, we're seeing some material metal stud walls are being built throughout the project on the interior, and maybe we can look at some of those walls with Matt. But what we're seeing is actually gypsum boards going up, which is very nice to see. So the walls are being enclosed, the art gallery is enclosed, the West Mechanics is being closed, overhead soffits are being closed with gypboard. So once you start seeing gypboard being introduced, you know that you're starting to close in the project and get closer to the finishes. The sprinkler pipe and ductwork are being suspended in the structural ceiling system. That's getting closer to an end date on when those will be done completely. Our contractor, Danforth, is doing very well with that. Departure hall is being completely closed from an exterior. As you drive up, you can see that there's walls, full walls, curtain walls to the sections to the left. If you look from the west side, once again, the walls are being completely sealed up. The cornices are finishing. We should start some of the architectural metalwork along the cornices, which will give it a much more finished look. Within probably about 6 weeks, we'll start to see all that come together. Then what we're waiting for is the metal ceiling systems, which consists of metal panels and also wood. And once again, once those go up, those are the finishes, and then we'll start to see departure hall getting to the point where we can open. Our target still, and John, I'm going to turn this over to John in a minute, is looking like February. For the artwork, we're working with Kathy Greenwood. She has some meetings with our artists to come up. We're trying to coordinate their work to get some of the support systems in place. So when they do finish the ceilings, they can connect to the integral support work that'll be hidden in the ceilings. So she can finish up, and we're calling that like day 2, meaning that we want to complete 95% of our work before the artist introduces their artwork. So that meeting is scheduled for Tuesday of next week to meet the artist and the structural engineer that's going to plan how they're going to make these connections. And the last thing I'll mention is spray. Some of the things you don't see is a spray on fireproofing. This is at the grade level, looking up to the ceiling, and that's what I got. But John's very close to the project too, and I'll turn it over to him for some.
So there you go, that one. So that's the beginning of the new elevator shaft. Elevator 20, we're starting to build a new elevator shaft. They got masons in there, laying out the block, getting that going. So that's going forward. They're also working on the elevator shafts 4 and 5, which are over at the garage. We had a walkthrough with Kone the other day to forward that. We're hoping that we can get that set up for Kone to get in there and start at least installing some of the rail, roughing it in by November. We'll see what happens with that. We're hoping to get that done. As John said, underneath they did the spray on fireproofing, and now they're putting all the studs hanging underneath to box that whole area in because it has to be enclosed, heated. Otherwise, the piping and everything under there will freeze. So they're working on that, and then with MLB's site sub, which is Sullivan Contracting, we're working on a plan to get as much drainage work and site work done both sides and get that all set up before winter, because we want to close the road up and get, so when we're ready to plow, we don't have to deal with, things in the way, obstructions and stuff like that. So it's moving forward.
I could have one additional item is that John is a trained transportation engineer, and so is Matt. So as we go into that phase of work, John and Matt are going to take a lead in directing and assisting CHA and MLB to coordinate that work. So that's supposed to happen next spring into the early summer.
Start this fall and then they'll finish it all next
So
spring.
we'll have another traffic plan like we did when we
Correct.
started.
So there's going to be enough support staff there to let that advance more quickly with their knowledge and support in that area.
How would you go
I'm good today. It's going very well. Currently, the ceiling grids are in. Ceiling should be done end of this week or early next week. And then we're going to start. We got the carpet. Terrazzo's complete in there. We got carpet, and we're shooting for early November still to have that.
Right?
Do you see how nice those pictures look?
When you
Let's
shoot
go back.
for Matt,
Early November right now.
does that get Florentine too, or just carpet?
There's Terrazzo in there.
There's Terrazzo. It's not much in this phase, but there is. But that's already complete.
okay.
Yep, that's poured and done. They're off site now.
The real delay is waiting on the airlines. United has to get their IT people in there to switch over because they're going to be using gates 3 and 4 when we switch, and 5 and 6 will come out of service. They'll be using 2, 3, and 4 will be their gates. So we got to get their IT people scheduled, and that's scheduled for the end of the month.
Yeah, the week of the 27th, and then new furniture the following week.
Yeah,
And
so
one
I
and
was
two
just
of
about
them
to ask.
function-
Oh, sorry.
and one and two of them functioning well, the new ones?
We've had a couple of little hiccups with them, but the contractor that installed them is a subsidiary of Oshkosh, which is JBT Jeopard. They've been on site taking care of some limiter switches, just minor things that you'd see from traveling them across country. They came from Utah, but all in all, yeah, they're very happy. United likes it, and Allegiant, who originally didn't think that their plane would fit into the A1 spot, loves it now. They're very happy over in that corner.
That's great. It looks beautiful, but so far everything's great. So glad that's on time. All right, well, John, you're on your favorite, the punch,
my favorite
the
part.
list.
On the list, terminal elevators. Currently, terminal elevator number 10 is being demolished. They've got it just about completely ripped out. That's the one at the far end of B Concourse down by American Airlines down there, which also is a 3-story elevator. It goes up to the 3rd floor where the penthouse is for the TSA, which was Bart Johnson's old office, and goes down.
I didn't even know it existed.
Things you learn, right? So they're ripping that out. All the equipment is here. On Monday, they're going to start moving all the equipment over there and start doing this, begin to install for that. So that'll be good. The only thing that may slow them down a little bit if they have to jump over to 4 and 5. It's the same crew. The installers will jump them to. I'd rather get on the 4 and 5 to get those going. 10 can wait a little bit if we have to, but it will be done. It'll be done around Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. So we'll have that partition out of the way, and then that'll be open for the patients. We won't have anything in their way, which will be nice. Go to the next one, the South Perimeter Road. Army Corps of Engineers is not my friend.
Oh, no.
But I'm working on it. I'm working 3 different angles on that. And I'll get it one way or the other. In the meantime, I still have work to deal with Callahan. They are coming back in 2 weeks to start boxing out and doing the air piece of the road that aren't wetland. So they'll have as much done as they can this fall, and then they'll come back in the spring and finish up what they need. And we're gonna take the millings that Reifenberg will generate when they start on the apron in April and use them to complete the roadway. So it'll work out good. It's a give and take. Reifenberg loves it because it's a very short haul for them. They can just haul them and dump them. It's easier for them, so it'll work out really well on that one. Car rental facility. That's kind of a placeholder, but I will give you an update on the car rental counters in the baggage care. So MLB has been pushing us. They gave us a schedule that they wanted to start them on November 1st and take them out all through the holiday season. Yeah, I know. We really haven't discussed it with them, but I'm ready to. I've actually talked to Enterprise Hertz, and I haven't been able to get hold of the manager, Avis. I'm thinking maybe calling their bluff and say, go ahead and do it, but you gotta do it according to the specs. And the rental cars are willing to work with us and work out of the garage if they have to for the
I
holidays.
was just about to ask, what's
Yeah.
the alternative plan?
Well, they can work out of the garage, it's a remote thing, but they're willing to do that. But part of the problem is MLB has to bring in the units completely fabricated, wheel them bring them to the loading dock, bring them through that way, and take the old one out, and they're not ready to do that. So I'm gonna call their bluff on that one and see.
Is it a question I can ask is do you know how long that disruption might be for
The
that
disruption
particular
should be
piece of the
about
job?
about a 2 month, it's
Oh,
probably,
wow.
there's four counters, so it's about 2 weeks per counter, so let's say,
Wow.
but they're not ready to go, and that's the thing, so I'm not letting them use that as
Yeah, we should probably keep them, cause.
keep the foot on the gas for
schedule.
them, you got it.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Okay. Let me set up something,
They hit a fire, they hit a wire.
let me hit a wire
Contractor hit a
somewhere,
wire.
yeah.
That's all it is.
I'm gonna get an announcement in a
Um,
second. It works.
That's a good thing.
What are they digging now?
No, they hit a wire,
Yeah,
probably,
working probably
doing
here.
plumbing work or
Anyway,
something in the terminal.
So the GA apron, let's do that. Great amount of thanks to Matt Monkey. He worked with the FAA. We have procured $8.4 million in discretionary funding. So at the next Monday's board meeting, or the following Monday's board meeting, we're gonna come into the board to ask you to approve the acceptance of that money, and also to approve the alternates 1 and alternates 2 to Reifenberg, which covers the GA apron all the way to the south end with the canopy down where Piedmont is down there now. That'll allow us to finish that job. We have enough money to do the whole job now. So that was a big feather. He worked really hard with the FAA. Rob Gatto and crew scored that money for us. So that's a good thing.
Very good.
That's great news. Congratulations. Thank you, Matt.
Traffic signal upgrade.
Where's the camera? I don't see a camera.
Look right on top of the poles.
That
You'll see
little
that
thing
candy.
hangs down?
That candy
Oh, I
came with
saw
a
it.
little bottle. Yeah, there's a couple of
It's
them.
not even pointed in the,
It's a 360 camera.
but it's covered by a cover. You must be taking pictures of just the end.
No. It's the candy cane right on top.
Seeing it.
Right on top. And there's a couple of them.
It's a cute little thing for $53,000.
It's actually working pretty well. The only thing was, I noticed the short piece between Albany Shaker Road and our terminal road, that short piece, that duration wasn't long enough. I questioned the design engineers, and they actually never gave Stillsing the timing sequence for that. So when the camera senses something, it has to give you so much time. So they're going to adjust that. They're going to come out, work with them, and adjust that in the next couple of weeks when Stillsing comes back to start on the ones down the road. So that will get a little better. But as far as the roadway, you come in the morning and rush out, it really makes a difference. Clearing the cars out at night makes a difference. And it has made a huge difference. And then once we adjust the timing a little bit, it'll be even better. So,
Great.
and like I said, and then the county's gonna do it all the way down to Route 7, all the lights all the way down, so you get to Route 7. So you'll be able to zip
It
through
was
there.
at the exit light onto Albany Shaker. I've seen traffic back up into the garage.
Yeah.
And it's only letting about 8 cars out at a time,
Yeah.
10 cars out at a time.
Yeah,
does
so
So
you
you
make
get
sense
people on
that
their
way.
phones or just
Right.
sort of the punch.
When they put this on demand system, it'll sense them and they'll set the timing so that it'll let a lot more cars out and clear that. It's gonna be, once we get that whole corridor cleaned up, you'll be able to zip through there. You'll like that.
And when is that happening?
That's supposed to happen in the next week or two.
Oh, great.
Yeah, still seeing order our equipment a little ahead of the counties. We're about a month ahead of the county. So as soon as that equipment comes in, they're supposed to get in there and start doing it. It only took them 3 days to put the cameras up, to mount them and wire them in, so that's not bad.
I think they had it pre-wired before. I think they did the original lights.
No, they didn't.
They did
DLC did the original lights.
an awful quick job.
DLC, well, it's the controller itself is set up for that system. So it's just a matter of changing 2 modules out and then it's set up. So the controllers that we bought were set up for that system. That's it. But no, that was good question, but no, DLC did the original lights for that.
All right.
Believe me, I was afraid they wouldn't work when they did them, but it's better. Anyway, moving on, fire suppression. So FS&S is the alarm system. They're gonna be in the fuel farm next week, starting the new alarm system up there, which will be good because we've had some false alarms from the old system. They're gonna remove that. I've been in contact with United Fire, who's building the equipment. Rand Engineering answered the last 2 RFIs they had, and they're just about complete with their fabrication of the equipment. And I don't have a ship date yet when they're gonna ship and come and install it, but it's still scheduled for sometime in October. So we should be able to get that one, have that ready for the winter time. That'll be good. Mauser lights, I don't know. With the government shutdown, I don't know what that does to us as far as the ATO and all that. I did talk to someone in New Hampshire that's in the ATO last week and right after the shutdown, and they assured me that it would not affect their schedule as far as getting this work. I guess it's already pre-programmed in, and it will not affect if they have the contractor on board and everything else. It's just a matter of them finishing their engineering. So I'm dying to see how they make out with the Corps of Engineers. They got a little wetland issue they got to deal with. We'll see how that works, but they're telling me we're still on schedule for next year, so that's a good thing. Actually, if they're a little later, it'll be better for me because I want to get the automated transfer switches done before they get here. So that'll help me out because then when we switch, it's all done, all automated. It'd be nice. And then you had the last one.
Transformer project. If you drive by the loading dock, you'll see they are well underway. They ripped up the sidewalk on the west end of the loading dock, and they've cut through the blast wall already. The fence was put in 2 weeks ago already, the new security fence. So they're removing everything, and they're going to get ready for National Grid, which we have a call in 15 minutes with National Grid and DLC, and we'll get an update, another update. That's moving well right now.
Thank you. Fantastic. Do we have any planning updates?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off of, the government related stuff, I thought it was a good time to kind of communicate what we've been hearing on our end. We have Dan Pemrick over at the tower who we speak with, and we work with him on updates as well as these ACI updates that are now pretty much bi-daily or every other day. And so far, the general theme has been we should not anticipate any local impacts. We have not seen any local impacts. There have been some other places on the map where, if anything, that's where we might see it. For example, Dallas was impacted yesterday with the staffing, operational. I think it was like an hour or two ground stop. We have a flight to Dallas, so that's where we would see it.
Right. So it wouldn't necessarily be initiated here, but because of other airports.
Correct. And
Probably likely.
yeah, and at that point, and I think the consensus theme has been as the checks stop rolling in, it's kind of unpredictable after that point. Yeah. So luckily, Dan's been great keeping the line of communication open with all of us. We'll be happy to, pass it on and right off to you guys.
Right. Hopefully we'll have positive updates at the full board meeting in 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
hopefully things will happen in the meantime. No, that's great. Thank you. Appreciate the update on that. Anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Good. And I don't think we need another executive session.
I have
Great.
one thing.
All
I have
right.
talked to John about signage.
Oh.
We always refer to the south garage.
Right.
Well, 90% of the people I know don't know what north southeast is.
I
There's not a
don't.
sign on that building.
Actually, I hate to correct you, but there is a sign that says South Garage, but you know where it is? It's on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
And the
Well, we
same-
talked about
but the
it.
same applies to the north garage.
True.
There's not a sign on that either.
Got it.
And these places are full. I can't believe the South Garage is full. It's the middle of the week in October.
Why are we full, Peter?
Because it was raining and because employments are up. Employments are up because of something that's going on in Lake Placid,
Oh, yeah.
right, Margaret?
I
What?
think so.
Some ice skating.
Was that the national what?
National Skating Championship.
Yeah.
We're 1,000 up per day for the last few
That's
days.
Yeah,
wonderful.
For year over year.
Year over year.
We'll know more, I think, 4 months out when it's officially reported, but that's, every day we've been up year over year throughout the summer, even into the fall, even with slow days, so it's very encouraging.
That's great. And we have talked and we've talked about as we
Yeah.
continue with the project, signage for the
Signage
buildings.
is
and-
very
Yeah.
important.
Yes, and that is on the list, Steve, I agree. I call it the new garage and the old garage, honestly, I don't know which one is which.
Well,
I'm
now
just
you
always-
know.
But I forget, so, yeah, I'm trying to think, I'm looking at my notes, see if there was anything else. Any updates, before we close on, the wonderful work we're doing with the state?
Yes, well, DOT came with their public relations people yesterday and Matt gave them a tour as to when we want to make a public announcement for the children's play area and the sensory room and the business center.
Okay.
So we're working on that and we're working on who's going to attend, and Matt can fill you in a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, it was their regional, DOT has sort of
Sure.
a structure where each region of the state has its own public information officer. So it was him, a gentleman named Scott Cook, and a photographer who works for them. We toured essentially the whole facility other than Concourse A, since that doesn't really come from state funding. And, while they're still waiting to get clarification from the governor's office, it seems that the governor's team would be most likely to attend or participate in a ribbon cutting unveiling when the entire terminal project is done.
She may not be governed then.
Is,
No politics at my meeting,
as far as
If I could get her, I would encourage her to come to the children's play area and the sensory
Yes,
room
I
too.
think
So
we
we're
can,
working on that.
And I think we have that connection with the chief disability officer, and we wanna, talk about that,
I
so
think
I
that's
can,
very important.
yeah, and I can help their people.
and we've made that point very clear too. Anything we do here public, we need Kim and her team to be involved in.
Great, Thank you.
And unclear too, so
Stay
there's a
tuned.
number of airports opening, receiving funding
Sure.
across the state right now. I mean, in the last couple of months, we've seen Binghamton and Saratoga County both unveil
Okay.
construction projects. So they're sort of moving around the map, doing these types of unveilings and ribbon cuttings and
we have to wait our turn.
exactly, wait our turn and see, if and when the commissioner might be available. But in the short term, they are planning a press release that will come from the governor's office, specific to the lower B updates, the business center, children's play area, and sensory room. And then we're just still waiting for more clarification on a public event unveiling. As far as we know, that a press release is coming soon, at the very least.
Wonderful, great, thank you. Motion, any questions or comments from anyone? Motion to adjourn? Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone, again, sorry we were delayed today.